care of my family, better care of myself.
Absolutely.
So that's what
Which is
drives me.
essential.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
So let me ask you a question. Because if you stay there, and I know you've been on the road a lot,
yeah.
how does it affect the way you do your parts? Like, I always sat there and I always wanted to ask an actor, how do you prepare for a scene? How do you prepare for an audition? Like, what's that process like?
Um, well, like now, I have a script with me on the road
Right.
because like I said, when I get back home, I have a day and a half in between, and then I have to be in Atlanta to film a new film. And so to prepare, I just I kind of get into a zone. I have to be quiet. I need quietness around me, and then I just go. I just start reading my lines, memorizing my lines. Studying the action and
Right.
everything like that, and I just go with it.
Now
So,
let me ask you. Oh, I'm sorry. FMI. Let me ask you a question. How do you do that? How do you manage to do that while you're at home? Because I know on the road it might be a little bit easier because at least you can have that downtime. But I know you're a dad. I'm a mom. When you've got kids running around, it's difficult to get that quiet time. So how do you find that balance to memorize your lines and keep it going?
Well, I'll go in my room, close the door. I'll let everybody know that I'm studying.
Hmm.
So my wife will help keep the kids quiet as
Right.
possible.
Right. 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 As possible. Right.
Sometimes it's difficult, yeah, but that she'll help me out on that a lot.
Yeah.
And then they know what I do, so they know how important it is. They know what's at stake. So
Good.
a lot of times I don't have to actually say, hey, be quiet or whatever. I just tell them, hey, I got to study a little bit. I got a big project coming up. Y'all already
Yeah.
know what it's about, and then we just go from there.
That's good. Go
Yeah.
ahead, FMI. I'm
see,
sorry.
that's the thing though. Like when you're sitting there and you're studying those lines, right? You're preparing to. Have you ever forgot lines while being on set and like for the day? Is that a thing? Like, do you just forget your lines for the day and shoot for the
He
next
Well,
said
day?
for the day. Damn, all the lines FMI like just blank out.
But I don't know if you get things from it.
well, the thing about it is, it depends on if I'm doing film or theater.
Mm,
Because see, with film you can edit. On stage you can't edit nothing. Once it's out, it's
It's a
out.
one shot
Yeah,
thing.
that's
You know what I
true.
mean? So with film I can always say line, or they can correct me or whatever. But when
Right.
I'm on stage, if I forget, I have to stay with the idea and kind of like fill in. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Tell me about that difference in going from a live stage play to actually doing, films, television roles.
Um,
Because it's a
it's
very different
it's
experience. I
different
know you're doing
because
so many takes over and over again.
oh my god, yeah.
There's no takes when you're live.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
The takes are when you're in practice.
Right.
But when you go live,
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
But as with film, we film maybe the same scene 5, 6, 7 times,
Right.
depending on what the directors feel. If the director feels comfortable with it, then he's like, okay, that's good. Let's change the angles, let's change
Yep.
perspectives and all that kind of
Exactly.
stuff.
Yep.
And you're doing the same scene, but from a different
Different
angle.
angle.
You know what I mean? So we may be in there, like I said, 6, 7 times, at least spending at least an hour and a half on the same scene until it's right.
Yeah, I
So
definitely have my own experience with that, so I can attest to it. And acting is such a lengthy, process. I know you spend a lot of time away from home. How do you find the balance to like between working, driving around bands, and just working hard, being a father, being a husband? How do you find your own time to really just like take a moment and breathe? Do you practice some sort of self care? Or are
um,
you like some of us sad saps that are out here just like grinding crazy?
honestly,
Thank you,
to be
Edgar.
honest with you,
Hmm.
um, I don't take much time because my mentality is I got to get this done.
Right.
I'm always grinding. If I'm not on the road, I'm submitting for different roles or whatever like that. I'm always doing something with my career, but I will make time, of course, for the family and everything,
Right.
and try to put everything down. Say, hey, I'm gonna do this later. Let's go spend some time. Let's do this and
Right.
that and the other. But for the most part, I go to sleep with this on my mind.
Right. No, I mean I understand the grind is real, but I do suggest for your own mental health that I think we've all been there. We've all crashed. We've all had our moments. Like FMI works his behind off.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does just take a toll. So, might I suggest, as a busy father and a busy actor, that you take a few minutes, even if it's, just to like meditate and relax. It's essential Do you do that, FMI?
Can I be honest?
Are you anti-relax?
Uh-oh,
Yeah, you
uh-oh.
gotta be honest.
What you do?
I find the deepest dark zone outside.
Facts.
I try to put down all 7 devices.
Yep.
Yeah. You have to. You
Gotta.
have to.
And,
Gotta tune out.
I sit there. Well, every night, what I normally do is I reflect on where I'm going in life. Where I need to be.
My FMI. Listen to this.
Then it basically becomes like a checklist for me
Mm.
on what I need to accomplish and what do I do to get closer to that goal. Day by day, I do that. Every night, I decide.
Damn, FMI, your goals, and you're wild younger than me. I can't.
Yeah.
I have to, but yeah, so
That's amazing.
Hearing everything that you're doing, seeing how you're not taking no for an answer, getting
Right?
on
Oh
stage,
no.
having a chance to work with Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me what that's like, knowing that like you haven't done it for such a long time,
Uh-huh.
like these other guys, but yet you had the grind and just the talent to reach those numbers within a short period.
Yeah, right?
Well,
Can you explain that to me?
Well, again, it's just my perseverance. Not taking no for an answer. If I get no on this side, I'm coming back around the corner from this angle.
I love that.
Trying to get in, and getting in with Tyler Perry. I didn't have a big part. You know what I'm saying? I just had an extra part, but I had some camera time.
Right.
But that's just as important if you
But
ask me.
that's a way in. That's all you need, really.
Yeah, of course. And so, I've been on If Loving You Was Wrong twice.
Right.
Had a part in the new Medea movie.
Okay.
So I mean,
those Medea movies, I'm not privy to them, but they are definitely a big seller. I know she does Christmas, jail, funerals, weddings.
Yeah.
The list
Yeah.
goes on, but
Right.
it's definitely something major that Tyler has built his empire upon, because that's what he has at this point, an empire.
Oh yeah,
You know.
definitely. And he knows how to treat his people.
Right. I've heard that. I've
You
heard
know-
that he's very kind and just like wise and down to earth. Is that true?
Oh yeah, I tell you what, I did Love Thy Neighbor.
Right.
And when I got there, we were, doing our thing, and then he said, okay, that's lunchtime. And so when you're on a big set like that and you're not a main character, you're thinking what you're going to get for lunch is like finger sandwiches and chips and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Let me tell you something. We walked into the cafeteria and he had like a Thanksgiving spread.
Nice.
He had the candied yams, the macaroni and cheese,
Oh, wow.
the slice. He had everything. Yes,
Right.
yes. He had everything. So he really knows how to take care of the people. He cares about his people.
That's a good look.
Yes, definitely.
Let me ask a question real quick. So, what hardships have you encountered on your journey in the
DJ
kingdom?
Bronson in the building.
Asking roles and
Can you turn your mic up some?
turn the mic up a little bit?
Yeah, can you? I want to make sure everybody can hear you nice and clearly, FMI.
Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, so you can explain to me like the hardship that you had getting certain roles. It touch on the race, or it touch on just a role you weren't very comfortable with. You have any experience with that?
I can't say that I have. I will say this. I was offered a role for a stage play, and the director asked me would I be comfortable with interacting with another man.
Oh,
And I said no, I would not. I said, I don't pass judgment, but that's just not what I do.
right.
Because I consider that I have my family watching,
Right.
and people that know me, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's the only really thing that I ran into as far as that's concerned. But I've been told no, a lot of times, like if I submit for a film or audition, the way you find out that you didn't get it, you don't get a response.
Right.
They
They really mean don't call us, we'll
Yeah.
call you.
You just don't get a response.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
That's
did-
like me when I used to send proposals to people after they begged me for my services, and then you don't hear from them ever again. They're
Yeah.
like blowing kisses in the wind.
Yeah. I did an audition for Queen Sugar.
Yeah.
I auditioned for I forgot the other show. Greenleaf. I auditioned for them, and I found out I didn't get it by I saw the deadline went by, and
Right.
the filming dates went by. Like, oh, I didn't get it. So
Right.
what I do when I audition, after I submit my audition, I just keep going. I don't sit there and wait to see what's going to happen. I have in the past, but I've learned not to, because my mind is consumed with that.
Yeah, I think that's important that you
So-
don't become consumed on like one particular thing,
Right.
because then if you don't get it, you'll feel disappointed.
Right.
You know, if you keep going, the more opportunities that you put yourself in, you know, the more likely you are to get called for those other ones as well. So that's great
course.
information and great wisdom
Of course.
to pass on. I know you have to get out of here because you're going to be performing, so
Oh,
I
we got a
don't
few
want to
more
hold
minutes.
you up.
We got a few more minutes.
Okay, because
I'm
we
enjoying
got to
myself.
take pictures and everything.
Yes,
You
yes,
sure
yes,
you can run late? Because
yes,
you know,
yes, yes.
we got to take our
Yeah.
flicks.
You ain't leaving early.
Yeah, right. Once we get them in the VPR studio, it's
Listen,
over, right?
but you know
People
what?
don't want to leave.
I'm like, you know, all these flying about here.
Yeah, what's up, Dre of Jay's house?
I see him all the time, so therefore,
Right.
Hey, but you
Right.
know, I'm glad
Right?
to be
Drink some
here.
more
because
wine.
I'm
and
I'm
chill.
glad to be here. I've watched you guys on Instagram and everything.
Appreciate
You know,
that.
and you know, I just love what I see. I love what I hear. You know, I'm just happy to be here. Really, it's an honor.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. FMI, what you think about that? Right? Touch your heart.
But you
right,
know what,
baby?
FMI, I gotta say this though. I've been trying to not to say this. I gotta say this, bro. You a big dude, okay?
Oh no!
Listen.
No,
You a
he
big
didn't just
dude.
do the Dr. Larry White.
You a big dude.
Ah!
How you get in that little box though?
I want to know why all the countrymen. Hold on a second. Do you guys know the story about Dr. Larry White Sr. and Dr. Larry White? Shout out to you. After the show, when we were here with Kimberly McLemore and Dr. Essie McCoy, we went to Milk River. Oh, as well as PK Kersey, right? Shout out to him. We went to Milk River and we were taking pictures, and Dr. White was like the director of the photo shoot. Okay, so he's moving us around. He was like, that FMI, that's a big boy. All the country boys come here and call you a big boy.
Wait.
FMI, how does that make you feel?
You know what I'm trying to say? I think it's a conspiracy. I drove to North Carolina about like what? Around this time last year.
Uh-huh.
First time in North Carolina.
Okay.
I don't know how y'all do it. It's hot as hell down there, bro.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
It's a different type of heat.
Oh yeah, it's different type of heat down there.
Yeah, Steph was there. You remember, babe.
I've never seen so many like chicken spots in my life. I'm so sorry. I'm not the type of people-
Not even in Brooklyn? The halal chicken? Oh, okay. The real chicken.
They got a beat because they got like blueberry jam on.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blueberry jam.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, I thought
What's
about
up,
that
Dallas?
part in the
Thank you for
movie
watching.
with Day and Craig when they in that little security box. he's like, no, you big in here. You know, I was like, but much love to you, brother. Much love to you, man.
That's hilarious.
Thank you,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? So what you're doing, man, I think it's really awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
It
you.
takes a dedicated individual in order to accomplish the things that you accomplish.
Well,
For
you know
sure.
what? My secret, or not secret, but my ingredients to success is remaining humble and being patient.
I love that. That's
Remaining humble and being
gem.
patient.
Say it again.
Remaining humble and being patient.
And being patient.
Yeah.
Patience is a virtue,
Yeah.
and humility is everything.
Oh yeah.
I
I've
think-
had people say, you know, oh well, I'm a, you know, we're gonna work together and this and that and the other, and I never hear from them. You
Yeah.
know, and I like, yo, okay, I tell you what, I'm just gonna just lay back, just wait. And I've had more things to come to me just by waiting. You know what I mean? Like I have so many things in front of me right now. It's pathetic, but you know, I'm grateful for it.
Listen, I was just talking with Jason, and shout out to Jason Swanston of Omnio.tv. He'll be up here in August, FMI, so we definitely have to have him on. You know, he's called in. We've had many conversations with Jason, and his industry contacts are long. But we were just talking about that. So it's absolutely crazy. The humility is so important, and what happens is a lot of times when you're pursuing hard body, you'll notice that when you stop and you're just patient, it'll come back to you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're gonna circle back around to you. When you're popping, everybody comes through.
Definitely.
That leads me to my next question. What has kept you? Honestly, what?
It's a good question.
People in this industry, over a long duration of time, whether it be, you know, alcohol,
Yeah.
Once you get to a head where nothing, once you start to count your accolades, you start to carry your social, and then people feel like they're owed something. What has kept you over? That's my question.
My family, my church. You know, when I'm not on the road or anything like that, I'm at church, and that keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
That definitely keeps me grounded, and I got
He's
some
a
other
man
people
of
now.
God.
Shout out to everybody that's watching.
Shout out to Jesus.
There you go. Shout out to Jesus. But yeah, I learned it. I learned it at an early age of how to be humble and patient. Now, sometimes I mean, everybody that say that they're patient, they get impatient at times. Because you want it so bad. But then I have to kind of stop and say, okay, what's for me, I'm gonna get it.
Right.
So
And we're only
just-
human
oh,
at
yeah,
the end of the day, so we err, and we we falter, but hopefully we come back to where we need to be.
right.
So, another question of mine.
Yes, sir.
What's been the craziest story? I never asked that of you. I want to know what's your craziest story that you had to deal with.
He always wants to know the lowdown.
You have so many DJs.
Uh-huh.
You have so many doing what you do. Or the people that come to you expecting handoff. So I know in this field, you had to have a story or two that just
Right?
had them like, really?
Actually, to be honest with you, I really can't remember anything really crazy that has happened because
Maybe you haven't been in this industry long
I
enough.
try
It's coming.
I try to steer myself clear of the drama. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
good. Yeah,
So because I know you can get caught up real quick
for sure.
if you're not careful. You know what I mean? So I watch who I'm around. When it's time to be in the dressing room, I'm in the dressing room or whatever. Whatever. I just try to keep myself clear of all that. So.
I hear that. He's like, I'll hide in the dressing room until it's my turn.
Yeah.
That's my kind of acting.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
talk to me. Don't look at me.
Right.
I'll be in there with my shades
There you
on.
go.
Come knock at the door when I need to be on set. Okay.
Right. Red M&Ms.
Don't you have yellow M&Ms in my bowl? I'll kill you.
Nutter butter is my thing. Nutter butter. Nutter
Okay.
butter cookies. Yeah, I know.
FMI loves a good
I know.
snack.
Listen, you're not by yourself, though. I gotta lose a few pounds. Actually, I gotta get myself together.
Did you just say he has to lose
I
some
gotta lose a
pounds?
few pounds. I do. I'll admit it because
I just said he loves snacks. I think he's
Because-
lose it.
I'm getting ready for a role while I'm playing the bounty hunter. So I gotta.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta.
Why don't you tell us
Yeah.
about that? That sounds exciting. I know, right?
Well,
Tell us.
you didn't ask.
Oh, he's throwing shot. Oh, he's comfortable. Give me your cup. Let's fill you up. I like where this is going. He's at home now.
I'm at home.
We
Actually,
rocking.
and you know what? Literally, I can say I'm at home because I was actually born in Connecticut, which is not far from here.
Well, it's
So,
not New York, but that's a nice try.
It is different,
No.
but it's like it's.
Maybe like
Oh wow!
I'm
So
crying.
I'm in a new movie called The Bridge, which is we just set our premiere date for July 28th,
I love it.
and I play a detective. And the movie centers around the opioid epidemic.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, you did have you had a trailer
it's a
up,
trailer.
didn't
Yeah,
you?
it's a trailer. You can find
And
the
shout out
trailer.
to Charles Clark, who is also in that movie,
Yeah,
another
shout out to-
esteemed
yeah,
award-winning
Yeah, my
actor.
boy Charles Clark
Yeah,
and
man.
the producer, director, writer Brandon Bias. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so yeah, he wrote a tremendous story about it, and you can find it on his page called Brandon Bias Productions.
Okay.
And just scroll down till you see The Bridge, and you'll see the trailer. It's powerful. And then outside of that, oh my God, what do I have going on?
You got a lot on your plate,
Yes,
right?
I'll be playing a bounty hunter for a series called Gavin Hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, T-Dubs? I see you.
What
up?
I just did a stage
Watch
play
him work, y'all.
not long ago called Inside My Marriage.
Uh-huh.
That was back in April, and it was a story about basically about blended families,
Okay.
which I have one.
Right.
So and that
So that hit close to
oh
home.
yeah definitely. That production is actually about to go on the road soon.
Wow.
So yeah.
So are you going to be on the road with them?
Yes, I
Wow.
am. Yes, I am. So I'm
You're
excited. about it.
everywhere. Damn.
Right. So those just a few of the many things I got going on. About to relaunch my book. I have a book out, and so Yes, it's called Crying Out in the Dark.
Oh my God. I got a book.
Yeah.
All right, I had forgot.
What's
up?
Got two portions outside.
What's up, you
know,
guys?
I'm just saying, you're doing the most.
Yeah.
Follow
it.
DJ
I
FMI.
love
He's
it,
the
man.
bomb.
You
And follow
really are
VPR
awesome.
Radio.
And you keep yourself busy. Now tell me about this book.
The book is called Crying Out in the Dark, and it's an autobiography. And I talk about my dealings with depression,
Wow.
how I dealt with rejection, and I talk about my suicidal attempts.
Oh, wow. That's
And I
deep.
talk about how I bounced back and how I got to where I am now. So
That is so
It's-
motivational.
Everyone's like, that's crazy.
it's
Where
that's-
can they find that book? Because listen, I think that it is a necessary element when you go through crisis and trauma like that you're able to help others, because there's so many in crisis and there's so many going through it that think that there's no way out and no escape other than death,
and it's not a lot of men that talk about it.
well, it's not a lot of people that talk about it, period. It's very kind of taboo, just like mental health,
Right.
and mental health awareness, especially in our community. So we usually hear about, suicides and stuff like on the news, or
Right.
it's talked about in hushed tones, like my cousin committed suicide, blah, blah. No one really delves into the why,
Not until
so
something
that's great.
drastic happens.
Not until it actually happens.
Yeah.
So I think, as a precursor to that, people can read that, and I think that's amazing. Tell them again the name of the book and where they can find it.
It's
Hi,
called
Aaron. Thank you for watching.
it's called Crying Out in the Dark, and it's
Okay.
actually in the republishing process.
Okay,
Had to get another publisher,
gotcha.
so we're going through that right now. But it will be out really soon, and just watch out for my postings and everything like that as to when the release will be.
Okay,
And so yeah, and I'm hoping everybody will check it out
for
because
sure. Terrence is already saying, he said, I need that book. I suffered from all of those, and I
Right,
can
and-
definitely relate.
and what I want to say to people about that is a lot of people don't believe that depression is real.
Right.
Depression is really real, and when people say that they want to kill themselves or whatever like that, it's not because they want to die.
Right.
It's because they're tired of hurting
Right. They want to end the pain.
and they just want to stop the pain.
Yep.
I'm glad that you touched upon it. When I was sitting there listening to you, I'm like, in the black community alone, we don't like
Yes.
really mental health issues.
Yep.
Something that we all suffer from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
We have this about us that we'll keep them aside. We kind of feel like, we look
Yeah.
at other cultures and everything. They're quickly to express that. They'll come out and depressed. And that's cool. They're too comfortable saying that. But in our community, it's found to very much, oh, you wrong. Oh, it's not.
Right.
There's something wrong with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the wrong approach.
For sure.
That's the wrong approach. When somebody comes to you a certain way, you need to embrace that.
FMI, the feed is saying they can't really hear you, so turn your mic up some,
Exactly.
or speak up, yo. Put some bass in it,
I'm about to say, I'll put some
because I know that you're loud, FMI. Right?
North Carolina loud? I'll
Yes.
be North Carolina.
In
Oh,
North Carolina,
oh,
Kakalaki out here.
So yeah, so people, need to be careful
Right.
with that. You know what I mean? It used to be times when I could be standing in a crowd.
Mhm.
Okay, somebody on my page says it's really hard to hear FMI. I think he's correcting that now,
Yeah,
Kim.
he is.
Yeah,
He's correcting that now.
Yeah. She said it sounds like your hand is over the mic. Cut it out.
I could be standing in a crowd and I could be crying right next to you. You would know it.
Right.
You would
Oh,
know
you're a
it.
silent crier like me?
I can be
Oh,
a
that's
silent
always
crier.
fun.
Yeah, but there
Slash
is
sad.
right,
as
and
hell.
there's no problem in getting help for it. There's no problem in getting meds. I don't want anybody to feel
Right.
that you're less than if you have to go talk to somebody or take meds for it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
But people want to know that they're loved and they're appreciated.
That
and
is
everything like
that
that,
is so necessary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's 8:45,
So now-
and I'm still here.
So what? What does that mean? You trying to run up out of here? What are you doing? What is that? What does that mean?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm enjoying myself.
All right. Because if you get in trouble,
Yeah,
we have a disclaimer.
I'm gonna have them to call the studio. Oh,
718-622-4590.
I'm sorry. I got to tell y'all this.
Yes. I'm sorry.
One of my followers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what he said, big dog.
Oh boy.
This is for
Big
this is
dog,
this
you
is
already
this for
know.
FMI. He said tell him to speak up with his big ass.
Oh, yo,
Oh Jay, you gotta chill out, man.
hold on a second. Don't be hey, King Orenthal, don't be talking about DJ FMI, okay? I take that personally. That's my partner in crime, okay? He's a great man. Biggest hit he may be. That's right. Smash, Hulk smash. Don't get Hulk smash and Libra
not
jumped
Hulk
up in here. Yeah, that's my Libra
I'm
brother.
enjoying myself here in New York.
Nah, we're having so much fun, and we're so happy that you're here. I know that you're also a domestic violence advocate. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. The way I got into that or became interested in that.
I know, right? Steph said, coming at FMI, yo, you about to get it in here, King.
Okay, I'll
watch your mouth.
I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him.
Please,
I'll talk to him. Oh, Jay, you got to chill out, bro. You got to chill out.
Chill.
Hey, New York, stick together now.
Yo, you're Brooklyn too.
Yeah, Brooklyn. Hey, but listen, I saw my mom. You know, she was a victim.
Okay.
And that, you know, I even think about to this day sometimes.
Of course, that's powerful.
And so I vowed that, you know, I wouldn't, you know, allow that to happen, or I wouldn't do it, anything like that. And so I actually did I was a speaker in Birmingham a few years ago.
Okay.
For a women's conference, and that was the subject matter. And so ever since then, I've been, you know, really standing against it. You know, I mean, it's crazy.
That's good, especially as a man.
Yeah.
I think we see so many women standing up for domestic violence and, you know, anti-abuse with women, but you don't always see men standing against that and really speaking on it. Okay.
And one thing about it, you have a lot of men that are victims as well.
This is true.
A lot of men. I did a study and it said that at least 3 million men in America are victims of domestic violence.
And for the man, I think from a prideful standpoint, is something they don't even want to admit. And sometimes even, again, in being taboo, but it may not be accepted in the community. The cops may not believe you, you know, all sorts of things.
Right.
If you're being attacked, if you're physically being attacked by a woman, like literally, like she won't stop jumping on you or whatever the case may be, and you stay in that relationship because you love her and you think things are going to work out, you are literally a victim of domestic violence.
And I can speak from a place of experience. God knows. You see, my father told me never to harm a woman, but it just one time.
Right.
I was driving my car now.
Yeah.
You know when you hit a point in a past relationship where you understand someone.
Don't tell me a Rihanna Chris Brown situation went down. I know you're from Belize.
You know when you hit a point in a relationship where you're just like, it's okay. Like you just don't get no more. Just like,
oh yeah, I get there very easily.
Boom. So I'm sitting there, I'm driving. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even mad at you. I'm gonna drop you off. I thought you were doing stuff. It's okay.
Right. Oh, that calm Libra scary? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's up, John?
I'm like, why am I I just got punched in the air. I'm like, oh, man.
Oh.
VPR, I'm telling you, I opened that door. Oh, no, you can get out.
Right.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm surprised you didn't open the door and like push her out with your foot.
As soon as she put the first foot out the door, man.
Yeah, you helped her along.
Like, tuck and roll.
Yeah, tuck and roll. I'm not even mad at it.
I'm just saying that to say, you know what I mean? When men do get hit or anything like that, we
right.
try to brush them off. You can't go
no, definitely
man, like, yo, hit me, bro.
Definitely not.
Yo, look at you like, bro.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned though about that, if a man gets hit, he has the same rights as a woman. Mm-hmm. He can have her arrested, press charges,
right.
everything.
Right.
Men.
Right. I hear you, as you should, because at the end of the day, especially as a man, you're more vulnerable because if you react, she can immediately get you arrested.
Of course.
So, you know, it's an even more delicate situation. You know what I'm saying? Because she's coming after you and odds are more in her favor, which is sad.
Right.
It's really, really sad. But I'm glad that you take the time to speak on these topics and, you know, you're able to really advocate for any victim of domestic violence, not just women, because like you said, it is men as well. Right. And we don't want to be discriminatory in our thinking. for sure.
That's what's
So
up.
tell me what else you have coming up, and let's talk a little bit about where people can find you because I want them to go and follow you.
Okay. Again, I have the well, we completed the project The Bridge. I'm in another movie coming out this summer. I'm actually playing another detective with
Love being
with.
Are you undercover PD or something? What's going on?
I'm gonna tell you.
You're saying something right now.
Right,
I'm,
right. I gotta watch it.
I'm gonna tell you about that. I don't know if you've seen the show
I know, right,
on
Stephanie?
Bounce
Dog.
called Saints and Sinners,
No.
but actor Trey Shaney. I'm in a movie called No Remorse with him,
Okay.
and we played detectives, and that's coming out as well.
Nice.
And I got the Gavin Hook where I played a bounty hunter,
Mhm,
and I'm working on another stage play called Beautiful.
mhm.
That's
What's that about?
It's about bringing awareness to a lot of women and people that are going through a lot of things that people don't seem to understand, making women feel that they are just as important as anybody else. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of, you know, stigmatism for a long time about, you know, a woman's less than, and
Yeah.
if it hadn't been for a woman, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be here. You know.
That's right.
So it's called Beautiful, and that's going to be coming out in September.
I love the roles that you take on. They have so much depth to them, right? I feel like,
Yeah. And so I just got my first Actors Award back in
Okay.
April 7th.
Now, let me ask you a question because Remo, shout out to Remo. We know Remo throws awards in the closet, right? Where are your awards to date? Are they like mounted or do you have them off to the sides?
Where everybody can see them.
Nice.
And
So you celebrated.
I only got one,
Okay.
but it's
Well,
where.
so far, because you have some award shows coming up.
Well, yeah, I'm nominated for 3 more awards, and that's coming up July 13th in Charlotte.
Okay.
And then I'm nominated for Actor of the Year for stage plays, and that's going to be in Myrtle Beach in September. So, yeah.
See, he's everywhere. I know his schedule.
I'm gonna stand in the back of him like, why? I'm like, this man does not count his blessings.
But you know what? I thank God, man. I thank God, man, because God gave me the talent. Gave me the talent. Yeah.
Well, I think along with the talent too, and that's an element that a lot of people are missing. You know, we spoke about it a little bit earlier. You were fearless in your approach to this career, which was important. And you also completely dedicated yourself. You know, a lot of times people get exasperated when opportunities may go south or, you know, they get disappointed.
Now, I've been there, though.
Yeah.
I have been at that point.
But look where you are.
You know, I've been to the point where
kept going.
I did. I've been to the point where I was like, you know what?
A lot of people give up. I mean, and acting is so like, you know, far out there for a lot of people's minds. You talk about acting, they're like, oh, really? And how old are you? You know what I mean? They feel like if you didn't break into it at like 5 or 7 or 12, that it's over. Well, I'm like, are you kidding me? I know grown ass actors that are award winning and really out there doing their thing. Like, come back this time next year, and we'll be looking at Oscars.
But you know, I have to give a shout out to. I can't give a shout out to everybody, but I have a lot of people that have been in my corner, that has pushed me, that knows my journey from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Well, tell us about that, because I think having like mentors and people that can really help you along is so helpful.
Yeah.
Not everybody does have that, but what would you suggest in regards to like finding a mentor or, you know, being able to stay in the mindset where you can pursue your dreams, right? Relentlessly against the odds and against people telling you can't. I'm sure you've had those experiences, right?
Oh yeah.
So how did you keep going? Like before you had mentors, how did you attain them? You know, maybe we can help some people tonight that are approaching those types of obstacles in their career.
First of all, I had to remember my purpose.
Okay.
I had to remember my purpose. I had to remember why I'm doing what I'm doing, who I'm doing it for, and my goal. And then I had to surround myself by people with a similar want. You know what I'm saying? They have the same mindset.
Yep.
You know?
Like-mindedness.
Yes.
We talk about that all the time. Protect your circle and your energy, baby.
Oh yeah. I had to clean out my circle.
Oh yeah. Clean that up.
I had to clean it out, and have less people, because if you clean out your circle, you can see what's going on.
Yeah. No murky waters.
There you go. And so I would encourage anybody that decides to step into this business to just, first of all, make sure you're ready.
Right.
Have a made up mind, because it's not a cakewalk. Actors or musicians or whatever, we sometimes make it look easy.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, it's not easy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
and I mean, I think that's the case with anything. If you're creating a business, and you used to be in the professional world, and I've encountered that so much. Like, why don't you go back and get a regular job? You were making so much good money and blah blah. And I'm like, oh, you're not for me, because you don't get where my mind is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if my mind was there, that's where I would still be. Every 2 years, I was running like, oh, I gotta go to the next job, not understanding like I should have been an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Once I got here, and as hard as it's been and everything, it's like, this is where I can be. I'd be at work like, what? You better Google me. You know what I mean? What did you just ask me to do?
Right.
It really is nothing like working for yourself. If you wake
Facts.
up and your grind depends on you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's freedom.
Right.
It's freedom, but it's scary AF.
It is.
You know what I mean? Because at the same note, your grind depends on you.
Right.
You know, a regular job, you clock out, you go home, you go to
Right,
sleep.
you chill.
You're an entrepreneur. You go home, you think about it.
Right.
You think about it.
Right.
You
Think about
sleep
it.
about it, you dream about it,
Yeah.
and you wake up from it.
Right.
Tell me I'm lying.
But see,
Who
when I
jumps
tell,
up out of bed here sometimes just thinking about an idea or something they missed or didn't do, or blah, blah, blah. You just jump up like, does that happen to you anytime?
sometimes it does, yeah.
What about you, FMI?
Yes.
Yeah,
But
that's
see,
the
what people-
life. Me too.
what
And
people
that's
have-
the Libra stuff too.
What people have to remember is this: a dream without a goal is just a dream.
Yeah.
So you have to have the dream
Ooh,
along with
those
the goal.
jewels. Say it again. He's like, a dream without a goal is not a dream. He's got
Yeah.
bars, right?
And another thing you have to remember: without commitment, you'll never start,
Right.
and without consistency, you'll never finish.
That's a fact.
So you have to be determined. You have to, be committed, and you have to be consistent.
Yeah. And if you guys remember when we did that DJ Self interview, that's the same exact thing that he said. Be consistent. Consistency and persistence is going to be what gets you where you want to be.
Right.
So I hear the phone ringing, so I know that means that our next guest is in the building, which is great stuff. So once again, I want you to tell everybody where they can find you, because
Okay.
I definitely want to grab some flicks with you and whatnot
Okay.
before we start this next interview.
Alrighty.
And just tell us a little bit about what you have coming up and what people can look out for. Maybe a couple of places that you're going to pop up where people can come and buy a ticket, or come out and support what you're doing.
Okay. Well, first of all, my social media is I am Ron Godfrey on Instagram, and it's not when I tell people that, they put I and then the letter M. It's actually I am
Right, like
Ron
I am
Godfrey,
yeah.
and I'm also on Facebook. So you can catch me there. And like I said, my next live appearance is going to be in North Carolina, actually,
Okay.
September 21st. So, everybody that's in North Carolina or just feel like taking a trip, come on down. September 21st.
He's like, come on down.
There you
Y'all
go.
gonna have chicken and yams and stuff? Or what's going on?
There you go. There you go.
You're gonna get it popping.
There you go.
Okay, I love it.
So, did he give his Instagram?
I
He
did.
did, of course he did.
I did.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get these photos.
Yeah, that's look, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you see why FMI and I are always in sync? Do you see? As you stepped out, I literally just said the same exact words that you came out and said when you got back. You see what I'm talking about? That is in sync. That's FMI and Kiana the Goddess, your
Yes.
favorite
So,
Libra
VPR,
duo.
I'm gonna get ready to turn up this music. We're gonna take a few pictures. We're gonna be right back.
Flick,
with
flick.
you.
Peace.
So I'm gonna need my phone, you guys, so we can flick it up. Okay, I'm gonna on some lipstick, and I'll be right back. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys go and follow I am AM, not the letter M, Ron Godfrey. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him on Facebook. We're gonna be right back with Still a Mess and Big Veg. Shout out to you. Shout out to all you guys that are watching. We appreciate you every single week. We're here with the king, the goat, Biggie, baby, watching over us, streaming live through Triple Vibes Radio. And you already know we're staying on tilt with DJ FMI. So bring it right back. We'll be here. Love you guys for watching.
Ooh.
Enjoying.
That was all right.
Mike's sauce or the. Oh, y'all been living good in here. It's nice and cool.
I know. That's why
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
bruh.
cool down, bro.
I'm like, this is some godly.
Right?
All right, we have a
I
guest
know how-
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Switch. We're gonna have like at least a 10-minute interval.
Exactly.
Perfecto.
Seriously. Everything works
At
right
least my
on
shirt
out.
got dry.
Right?
I'm surprised the shirt's still white, my brother. I'm sitting in there. I'm like, yo, my shirt gonna be dirty by the end of the day. I'm like,
I got
I got
caught
white
that
feet
down
on,
for
but
it.
I'm just like, this is getting too bad, man.
I got caught that down for it.
Give it to you, bro.
Catch this train back.
So where you headed now?
I gotta go perform. Urban Plaza. And I'll be at the Steel tomorrow.
That is awesome, my brother. I can do that because I'm free.
Are you
can't-
free tomorrow? What are you
What?
doing
Oh, no,
tomorrow?
we had the XM.
Yes.
There you go. Boom.
Thank
Remember that.
you.
Remember that. Remember that.
Crying out
See how
loud.
quick I did
Crying
that?
out loud.
See how quick I did that? Boom.
Crying out loud.
You beautifying right now?
Yes,
You
a
know you look
little
beautiful.
bit.
You know everybody before on the level when they
Oh
walk.
boy.
As soon as they hit those doors, they be like, you think Keanu? I'm just like, bro, you can try y'all. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Keanu's a different type of individual.
And yes, indeed. I'm glad you forewarned them. With different
So
beats.
no, you couldn't believe all the people that contact me asking, yeah, man. Keanu got away. She look like she want to talk to anybody, but when you really meet her, she don't want to talk to anybody.
No, I don't. Yeah.
We'll go look like first. 3, 2, 1. Hold the button until you take the picture out of my automatic mode, so you'll be fine. No, you're good. You have to look through the sites.
Okay, I'm touching this button here.
This one right here. You just hold it to take the visual. Yeah, that's a good. You gotta hold it.
Angle. Oh, is it
Yeah,
safe?
you can hold it as long as you can.
Okay, I got it.
Your nails in the way. Shut up.
Wait, we need the three of us. We need to,
With this one, I can't because it has to be connected to Wi-Fi. And
okay, so why don't we let Bench take some, because he's a photographer.
Oh, yeah?
Videographer, yeah. All right, you guys. We will be back shortly. Thank you for watching. Ron Godfrey. I
But she
am
told me
Ron
that I was
Godfrey.
like, clutch.
Definitely clutch.